for you two guys, transfers. Just curious how Arkansas is treating you. You've been here a little bit longer. You've been here a little bit shorter. Just what are your impressions so far?
Um, Everything's been great. I love everything about Arkansas. Like the transition was smooth and everything's been great.
Uh, it's been smooth, like you said. I mean, coming in January, I'm saying coming in doing musical soccer and stuff like that. I mean, being with the team, they made it a smooth transition for me. Being an older guy, I kind of knew like the range of how it work. So it's coming straight in the spring ball. I didn't want to work out. I didn't miss a beat. They didn't leave me straight. They really right to the work, right to the work, right to the work.
How did things play out for you with being from Georgia and Arkansas? Obviously got some connections on this staff from Georgia. Did that stuff play into it, and how did it unfold?
I want to say not necessarily. It's just I've been in contact with the DB's coach for a minute since high school, so we already had a connection. So the portal and all that when it opened was already connected, and that's how it happened. Yeah, Coach Woodson.
I mean, I've known Coach Dick since I was in high school. When he was at UNC, he was coach for door, and him and my dad are great friends. So as soon as I decided to name of the portal, he was like one of the first teams to contact me. And then they set up a visit to come down to the house. They brought some equipment, and that was all good. After that, I mean, meeting with him to week at the house, they were talking about parents, stuff like that. That kind of sealed the deal for me.
Uh, John, I know you don't go up against Patrick every day, but what have you seen from him when you are going up against him? And the rest of the offensive line as well.
I mean, we playing football for a long time. I can probably say I've seen a fair show offensive line. I mean, with Patrick and just the whole offensive line, it's really fluid. It's a lot of rotation, and they all can play multiple positions. Like you probably know, you see Patrick play tackle, guard, center, stuff like that. And I feel like that's good to have versatility because you never know how the season goes, and he can always slide in both spots. And I mean, it's tough. It's tough slug coming from the ACC now. Playing the SEC is bigger, faster, stronger tackles. And I mean, he's probably one of the best.
Patrick, kind of the same question for you in reverse. Not only about John Dove, but it seems like there's so many guys on the defensive line who's kind of sticking out to you so far.
Definitely some of the edge guys like Trayvon Jeffco, John here, Landon Jackson. It's just different type of player. I mean, being on the edge, you're on an island, and these guys just they can go power, they can go speed, so you got to be ready for everything.
Want to talk to you about the tackles. I get asked a lot about how are Kutas and Manuel going to hold up. I mean, what's the curve been like for you two new starters?
There was a curve there definitely, but I think with Coach Kennedy and Coach Pittman just always there for us, always getting us in the film room, technique on the field, just drilling little things. It's been smooth, and with the older guys, a lot of experience on the inside, so they've definitely made that transition smooth too.
You mentioned your dad knows Deke. Like, what's the connection? How does it go back?
I mean, my dad was a college coach growing up, but he coached all throughout the D2 level, HBCU level. So I guess through the grapevine, maybe that coaching connection, that's kind of how they created a relationship. And I mean, me and Coach Deke son were in the same recruiting class, so we were going through that process. Just like we got recruit visits for his son, like certain schools, we always see each other. So it was like I said, it was a bad connection. So as soon as they said they were interested in me, I kind of just wrote it on there and ready to go. Oh yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't hesitate. I mean, coming from Pittsburgh, I always play with a deep defensive line. And I feel like that is something that's been needed in these top conferences. You can't really go on with obviously the Iowa State is going to work out because injuries happen. I mean, I think that is the biggest thing for us and knowing how to get defensive line now. I think about a great season.
Like, what do you think maybe you showed the coaches so far in camp that allowed you to get what they won?
Uh, just basically taking advantage of every opportunity I get. Just going out there working hard every day and just giving it my all. There's no plays off.
Patrick, I think we talked. You're 19, right?
Yeah.
We were talking to Jeff Code about this. I think he's 23. That's a pretty big age difference. So maybe it's different if somebody's 45 or 49, but 19, 23 is pretty big difference. What's the key to maybe holding your own against older guys that are really good players?
I just think I just fall back on the roots of me playing. I have size, athletic ability, and I just use all those to my advantage.
The coaches all SEC team came out today, and Latham and Limmer are on that. Everybody feels pretty good about those guys. They're fifth-year guys. You're obviously a new guy, and the other tackles are pretty new too. Do you feel like you'll have some to prove, or do you have a little chip on your shoulder? I mean, I don't think people are being critical, but they're just, well, we don't know what these guys can do because they haven't had a chance to play yet.
Definitely, I do think there's something to prove.
Right on that a little bit.
I mean, we're just a young group on the outside, and having these experienced guys, just tells a lot that they don't move the older guys out. They trust us as the young guys to play out there.
Happy belated, by the way. I mean, there are freshmen on this team that are older than you are, and a lot of times you see, August birthday stuff. Parents will hold them back a little bit, but I'm guessing you were always probably pretty big for your age. Is that kind of always how it's been for you?
I'd say so. I mean, I was always pretty tall, but I was never pretty. I was always tall and lanky. So.
Like, I mean, you're 600 plus in the squat. Your weight room numbers are very impressive. So it doesn't seem like that's something that's holding you back at all.
No, not anymore.
Jaheim, what would you say are your best attributes? What do you bring to the table? Obviously, you got some height and some quickness and stuff, but what do you think you bring to the cornerback position?
Ball skills, physicality and discipline. Just being coachable, listening to my coaches and being coachable, taking everything and giving me the every day.
But you're more, you're not the tallest defensive end. You don't fit that 6'6" mold or anything like that. But obviously, got some quickness and stuff, and had racked up a lot of sacks in your career. What about you makes you good for the position?
I mean, I feel like me personally, I think I'm a savant of outside the game, but on the field, like Billy's film, like I've always been a king of watching that film and tear him down before I step on the field. So knowing what attributes I like, if he works best against him, and I mean, I feel like this is my stature. I'm really good at being able to slip past the eyes, being able to use their weaknesses to my advantage, stuff like that. So I feel like that's what I look for.
Part of 38 new players on this team, including freshmen and transfers. That's a lot. You used to just be 25. Coach Pittman was talking about that today. How has this team meshed, come together? I mean, that's obviously a short time for you guys to get bonded, and that's very important for a team.
I go first. I mean, I feel like we meshed great, coming from the team I played with. It was like I won a championship, so I know like what it takes to be at that type of level and playing those New York City Bulls. That's something that we want to aspire to be. I mean, I feel like it's one of the best in that team I've probably been around in my career. I mean, honestly, that there was no drop off guys coming in the forward. There was no like animosity or guys like you brought me in, they can take my spot like that. Everybody's finding their niche and finding their role. And so if they're looking, I work on to learn from this guy or this guy. We all come together.
Yeah, with me, I would say because I leave it up to the coaches too because they trust in us so much. This team is so player led, and like the way we do things, like we together all the time. So like from there, we just bond and go from there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, being here longer than these guys, I mean, when they came in, when all the former guys came in, it seemed like a smooth transition. Like there was no, John said, animosity. Everybody was just smooth along. Everybody got along great, and we all just worked together. I mean, I think we just have, one thing in common. We all just want to prove something this year. So.
Kelvin was for either of the transfers. Kelvin was up here yesterday, and he talked about the resources that Arkansas has for you guys. What is kind of some of the stuff that has surprised you since you guys have got up here?
Well, at least for me, like I mean, once I finished playing, I want to be in you guys. She was doing a broadcast and stuff like that. And I mean, one of the first things they told me when I got here was they gave me an internship opportunity with the Razorback Sports Network. And I felt like going through my 5 years at school at Pittsburgh, I would never got checked to do something like that. So that was something that was big in my recruitment and being able to big pass football. And that was one thing they preached with me and they held true on it. They didn't lie or anything like that. They told me exactly what it was going to be when I got here, exactly what it was. So that was something I really appreciated.
John, you're the first player to ever say the word savant in this room. So you got that good there. Jaheim, I wanted to ask about the other cornerbacks. At the start of camp, Sam Pittman told us we need to find 5, and if we can do that, Snacks might go to nickel, and that has happened. Can you talk about the strengths maybe of the other guys in the cornerback room that you see?
We all great. The coaches just want the best 5 on the field at the same time, but like the other strengths, like Nudie, he's a very great corner. He's older, so I get a lot of knowledge from him. Just all around from Snacks. Snacks can teach me a lot too. From him moving on hard, it's just a lot. We all rotate, so like I wouldn't really call out their strengths. I would just say all is good because coaches, they believe in trusting us. They put the 5 best on the field at a time.
I believe you practiced more at guard last year, or so when the first scrimmage of spring was held, the word we got was the defensive end feasted that day, and then you're at tackle the next day. I wonder what that's been like for you, kind of having to accelerate your spot there.
Yeah, it was an odd transition. You're so used to interior having help from everybody, just not being on the island that you are as a offensive tackle. So that was definitely hard to get used to. And just footwork, hands, eyes, communication. I mean, you're the one getting the play call. And you got to echo it down the whole line. So, I mean, you're kind of the head of everything besides the center.
A lot of football now. This is your entering your sixth season. Just kind of how do you think that you've changed from year one to now, as far as just how you're approaching the season and everything?
I mean, I take it day by day. I'm an early guy. I like to wake up early in the morning and try to get all my rehab and stuff out before I try to get to practice. I mean, your body is what makes everything run. If you don't take care of your body, I've learned that throughout the years playing with guys that have played in the NFL now. They've always given me knowledge and stuff like that, saying you want to take care of your body and always be above in the film room. You got to step at least the next level. You can make plays and watching film before you can do after like that. Very long range. There's a lot of plays that just come from watching film. You'll slip those plays in the nose. You slip those over and over again. The 12 sacks and everything. How'd you get there? Those are things you saw a week ahead of time that you watch film throughout the week. So that's just things that you're trying to be prepared for everything.
I'm curious how that conversation went with you moving to tackle. Was it Coach Kennedy or Coach Pittman or both of them, or and how did they present it to you, and just what was just kind of walk us through that conversation?
And it was both of them, and really wasn't much of a conversation. It was more of an opportunity for me, and obviously I attacked that opportunity. I mean, it's a opportunity to run with the ones, get to play, so there was no question.
I talked to some people in Georgia about you, and they were like, "Well, he's good, he's talented, he's tall, he's kind of skinny." A lot of people fight forever to put on weight, and you were listed, I think, like 170, so I think you're about 188 now. Is that right?
Yeah.
What did you do to put on that weight? And I mean, you don't look skinny anymore.
Just stuck the coach out of weight room routine every morning. Just woke up, grinded every day. Got on a lot of protein too. Did a lot of protein. Had faith in Brooks. So that's just about it.
Like keeping your eye on all the time, getting on the scales, or
Yeah, weight. Yeah, weight. I always believe that my weight needed the game, so I paid a lot of attention to it this summer.
just change anything for you, like slowed you down, or just made you stronger, or you notice any difference?
Because my physicality, it raised, it got higher because of my weight.
Some guys have gotten here and spoke about the Breakfast Club. Are you a part of that?
Nope,
No.
not a part of Breakfast Club.
All on your own. I'm just curious, John mentioned winning a championship at his previous program. You've got some experience with that. Are there any, lessons from your 1 year at Georgia that maybe you're carrying with you every year, that obviously that's, some aspirations that you guys as a program will have?
Yeah, just like the standard, just every day, just going out there grinding, just knowing what we're grinding for at the end of the day. Like, I'm sure everyone on the team has the same goal, like winning the natty or whatever it may be, but just every day going out there and giving it your all every day, just knowing the standard.
John, what do you want to do for the Razorback Sports Network? Do you want to announce games? You want to, be a reporter? What, do you have anything in mind yet?
I mean, the goal is to announce. I know I got to work my way up the ladder, but I feel like I have a great voice for the game. Watching guys on TV, I feel like it'll be an easy 15 minutes. I've always been a film junkie, so I kind of just, on my free time, I kind of just watch football as much as I can. So I feel like, whether it be any sport, really, I feel like I'd be good for it.
Civic sports other than football? Obviously, you're playing during the season.
I mean, if I had to choose one, I'd probably say like MMA or something like that. I feel like it's a little more exciting. I kind of really lash out and be myself. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a strict script to what you got to say. You kind of just live it and whatever that fans really like that stuff. So I think I'll be good for that.
Yeah, I just want to be in an end. What do you think of the tackle?
I mean, like I said, coming from the ACC, it's like they're bigger, stronger, faster. Going against Kutas, Chamberlain, and Big Dev. I mean, they're all long arms, strong. Posada would put them in the best position to be top tackles in the SEC. I was talking to Jeff the other day saying the SEC is full of edge rushers. That's the premier position coming out of the SEC. And I feel like them going against us every single day is going to put them in the best position to handle our own on Saturdays.
I think so.
Oh, defensive tackles. I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
oh, no, you fine.
That was a good answer.
Oh
That's
no, I
definitely
mean
usable.
defensive tackles too. I mean, playing with those guys. I mean, you got Big Tank, Kiwi, Cannonball. I mean, those guys are 300 plus. I mean, if they can hold double teams, let Crook and Chris Paul run around all day and let Tony Gill run down gaps, it's going to be a hard day for opposing offense. Because I mean, if you got 6 or 7 in the backfield, I really think we'll be a top SEC1 defense in the country.
You know, it's on Sigurd Arns had a lot of issues with pass defense last year. Sam Pittman alluded to the speaking engagement today. What's your feeling on what you guys can do to improve that pass defense?
Really, it starts with the D line. I love those guys. Those guys make my job way easier every day in practice. I rarely have to cover more than 3-4 seconds. So it really starts with the D line. So that's really about it.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
Wow.